Lesson 7, adding and subtracting to solve problems. So it says without computing is the solution to this problem. That means what the x goes into there. Is that going to be negative or positive? What do you think, Matthew?
Positive.
Matthew says positive. How many people agree? Just a few hands. How many people say negative then? Okay, well, let's look at it this way. You're $2.70 in the hole. At the end of this, you're $3.50 in the hole. So did you deposit money or did you spend money? You spent money. What do we use to represent spent money? Negative is the answer. You got smaller. You went more in the hole. Your answer is negative. Question 2. Which of the following are solutions to the same type of problem? Okay, well, I got to figure out which ones will give me negative answers first, right? This one going to give me a negative answer? Yes. This one going to give me a negative answer? No. This one's just like the warm-up. Is this one going to give me a negative answer? Remember, 2 negatives in a row. Let's going to change that to this. Is that going to be a negative answer? Exact same as that one. Okay. This one you're going to get super small, right? Negative 350 minus another 2.7. That's going to be way too big. So the 2 that will give you correct solutions are going to be those 2. Your answer would be negative 0.8. It's not asking us for that, but that would be our answer to make that equation true. Next question, talking about phone inventory. A store tracks the number of cell phones it has in stock and how many phones it sells. The table shows the inventory. Anybody know what inventory means?
How much you have?
That's how much is in the store, yes. For one phone model at the beginning of each day last week. The inventory changes when they sell phones or get a shipment in. Okay, so this is kind of like our bank account. We have 18, we sold 2. Now we have 16, we sold 5. Now we have 11, and we sold 7. We have 4, and we sold. How can that work? We got 4 and we sold 6. Well, maybe people said, I'll pay for it now. When a shipment comes in, I'll get it tomorrow or whatever. So we owe 2 people phones, and now I got a shipment of 20 in. We'll talk about the answer here in a minute. What do you think it means when a change is positive? So like here, what does that mean in this problem?
How many shipments?
Shipment came in. Yeah, phones came in. Phones arrived. However you want to say that. We got a shipment in. That was well put. Negative. Negative represents what in this problem? Phones sold, yep. How many phones sold? Okay, what do you think it means when the inventory is positive? So these are all positive. What does that mean?
How many we have?
Yeah, in stock. Phones you have, phones in stock. Negative. Like on Friday. Kind of already talked about it. Somebody other than Ryer? Old people phones. Yeah, phones we owe customers. Based on the information in the table, what do you think the inventory will be on Saturday morning? Explain your reasoning. Dieterle.
18 phones.
Say that again?
18 phones.
18 phones. Explain how you know that.
Because there's 20, so there's 2 people that bought a phone. So.
Yeah, 2 people we owe phones to. We got a shipment of 20 in. So negative 2 plus 20 would, of course, give us 18. Number 4, what is the difference? Again, difference means subtracting in the order it tells us to. So difference means subtract from the greatest inventory, so the biggest amount I have in my inventory. Alicia, what's the biggest amount in my inventory? 18. Minus the smallest amount in my inventory, because it says smallest amount, least here. So I got to figure out the difference between 18 and negative 2. Remember what two negatives do before you answer this. Dakota? Answer? So the difference between 18 and negative 2, you could think of that as temperature, elevation, bank account. 18 to owing $2 is 20. Phones in this case. Question 3, top of the next page, 63. Hans family got a solar panel. Each month they get a credit for their account for the electricity that is generated by their solar panel. So they spent the money on a solar panel. So the electricity that they generate from the sun, they don't obviously have to pay for. The credit is based on how sunny it is. In January, they used $83.56 worth of electricity, and they generated a credit. That means they don't have to pay for this, $6.75. So you take the charges and subtract their credit. They only have to pay $76.81 for electricity that month. All right, so now that we talked about that example, number 1, Parker, would you read it, please?
In July, they were traveling away from a home to and only used $19.24 worth of electricity. The solar panel generated $22.75 worth of electricity. What was their amount due in July?
All right, so in July, again, they were gone, so they didn't use a lot of electricity. This is how much the company called or charged them for. Their panel generated $22.75 worth of electricity. So are they going to owe the power company, or does the power company owe them? Power company owes them. So we're going to have a credit on our account. It's going to show up as negative. That means I don't owe anything. They owe me. I got to figure out how much. So you have one positive here and one negative, of course. So if you have one of each, you have to subtract. 2275 minus 1924. Help me out with subtracting, please.
1, 5,
12 minus 9.
3,
3. Don't need the 0, that's fine. And again, that's going to be negative. It's a credit. They owe me $3.51. That'll get applied to, this was July, so my August bill. Okay, and they're not going to write me a check for $3.51. They'll just put it on my next bill. Okay, number 2. Table shows the value for electricity they used and the value of electricity they generated for a month. What amount is due for the month? So this is week by week. Ladies, why don't you add up the total amount used, please? Guys, you add up the total amount generated. And then we'll figure out a total bill. So ladies, you got the first column, the used. Guys, the generated. Just adding them up. Cruz.
I got negative $28.33.
$28.33. Molly? $77.40. Confirm. See some head nods. Good. All right, so here's my bill. Here's how much my electric panel generated. So how much do I owe?
Are we counting the?
Nope, just this one right here. Just this. Separate problem. Good question. So I would have to take $77.40 minus my $28.33. Jackson? $49.07 is correct. $49.07. Question 2, or 3, sorry. What is the difference between the value of electricity generated from week 1 to week 2? Okay, week 1 to week 2. So I got to subtract those two numbers. 6.33, that's a negative. Minus a negative 8.94. So let's do this one again. See two negatives in a row again here. So what operation do I need to change to? Add. And now I got one of each sign. So what operation do I do if I have one of each? Jack? Dieterle? Got one of each. What do I do? Subtract. My answer going to be positive or negative? Bigger one's positive, right? 4 minus 3. 9 minus 3. 8 minus 6. So 261 is the answer to the first part. Now wants to know the difference between week 2 and week 3. Week 2, I suppose I didn't have to look that up. I already had it. Minus, because it's a difference, 7.70. Negative. All right, two negatives in a row again. Make it positive. Now I got one of each sign again. Subtract. 4 minus 0.
2, 1.
Negative or positive?
Negative.
Negative's bigger. All right, the are you ready there? I just want to discuss that. Kind of an interesting question. It says most rooms in any building all have the same air pressure. Hospitals make use of positive pressure rooms and negative pressure rooms. What do you think it means to have negative and positive? What would be the uses of some of those rooms? So, air travels, guys, always goes from positive to negative air pressure. So if we had extra pressure in here, air could only go out. Nothing could come in because there's more pressure in here than the air out there. What kind of people in a hospital would you put in here where nothing could come in as far as air?
Intensive care.
Maybe intensive care, people whose immune system is really down. Okay, where sickness could come in or germs could come in. If the air pressure is always going that way, nothing could come in. Okay, how about the opposite of that? What if the negative air pressure is in here and air can't escape? Air is always coming in here. What kind of people would you put in here in a hospital?
They had like contagious.
Yeah, if they're super contagious, absolutely. Okay, if somebody's super contagious with something, would you want the air to be able to flow out there? No. So that's exactly right. Okay, so positive room, you probably want people whose immune systems are down. Negative would be people who are contagious. All right, final question, 7.4, plotting points. Remember when we plot points, guys, the first numbers are X, that's left and right. Second numbers are Y, that's up and down. So 5, 4 means right 5, up 4. So go ahead and put a dot there. Next one, 5, negative 2. So again, I always start at the origin. 5 to the right, 2 down. That would be B. C, negative 3, negative 2. Again, starting at the origin. Negative means left, negative means down. And negative 3, 4. What shape is made if you connect the dots in order? To answer question 1. I would say that is not a square.
Rectangle.
I would say it has to be a rectangle. Number 2, what are the side lengths? We'll just mark them right in our chart here. How far is it from A to B?
6.
I'll agree with that. How about A to D?
8.
8. Side lengths are 6 units and 8 units. Question number 3, what is the difference between the x-coordinate of B and C? Okay, so what was the x-coordinate of B, the first coordinate of B? 5. Minus C, first coordinate of C. What do you think?
You add.
8, yes. All right, now it says C and B, so it's the exact opposite, right? C was negative 3 minus B. What do you think that one's going to be? The exact opposite. Negative 8. Which makes sense. Just the opposite order. Again, if that would say distance, then both the answers would be 8, but it says difference. How do the difference of the x-coordinates relate to the distance between them? Remember what you told me the distance was? Okay, so how do these compare with the distance? I guess we already kind of answered that. Distance is always positive. In this case, it would have been 8 if we were comparing those. So again, positive and negative numbers, guys, we use a lot. Temperature, elevation, inventory, money, electricity flowing. We just talked about with the solar panels. All right, take a look at your homework starting on page 67, going to 69. 5 questions today. First one talking about meals again and tax. Remember, 6% sales tax. Make it a decimal. Move it 2 spots to the left. So that's the number you're going to use to help you answer 1A. B is kind of your opinion, but please explain. Underline that so you don't forget to explain for 1B. Jackson, you got that underlined? All right. Question 2, filling out the table. Think you can handle that. Question 3, comparing some heights. And that continues on to the next page. So there's 5 parts to that one. Question 4. Again, your money type of problem. Starting with 360. A negative, does that mean I spent or added money to my account? Spent, so you spent $22.50, so now I have $337.50. Now you got to figure out what happened, because now I have $182.35. Obviously you spent money, right? Your money went down, you got to figure out how much. And then transaction number 4, we got an issue. Because look how we end up. So do you think he spent money or added money to your account here? You spent money. So much money that you're in the hole. Okay, so both of these are going to be negative, guys. You spent money on both of them. And question number 5. You're looking at rainfall, June, July, and August. I think you can answer those questions. A, B, C. A is on page 68, and B and C go on the next page there as well. So that is it for today.